So my name is Jackie Majeros. If you don't know me, I am so delighted to share all these awesome students with you today. If you would like to, say hello in the chat, say where you're coming in from if you would like to. Say you're zooming in from wherever you are, and people will get a sense of the breadth of this group. And it's nice to see Connecticut here. Thanks, Mike. Okay, so what we would like to present to you today is a loosely organized recap of what we did and learned in Mexico City. It was an amazing time, but you don't really want to hear from me. You want to hear from the kids. So let me share a few things as we're getting started. And I'm going to show a couple of videos. Bless you. And the first one I want to show you comes from our Instagram, and the weather news. And I'm going to share my screen. And one of the things that some of us were surprised about was how much rain there was in Mexico City in July. Did not see that happening, but portion of the screen. But Cassiani's going to give us the weather news. Oops. Okay, it's not, it's can't hear. For some reason. Yeah. She's much better when you can hear her. I'm gonna, okay, how do I restart it? All right. Okay, I'm just gonna wait till it goes. These are all very short.
So here you can check out some rain footage.
We need to put a knife in them on.
So here, in the middle of the rain, the YGI students were able to find a great spot and take amazing pictures. And we were able to have a lot of fun despite of the rain.
Yeah.
So follow along for more updates with YGI Journalism. Good night. Hello, YGI followers. So here we are with great weather news. Not so great. So today we were on a 30-day of a global conference, just walking around on a beautiful guide tour around Coyoacán neighborhood, learning about history and interesting facts, when out of the blue it started raining. So here you can check some of the shoes that are really wet. And also some of the umbrellas. So here you can check out some rain footage.
We need to put a knife in them on.
So here, in the middle of the rain, the YGI students were able to find a great spot and take amazing pictures. And we were able to have a lot of fun despite of the rain.
Yeah.
So follow along for more updates with YGI Journalism. Good night.
Hi, this is my favorite thing from Ukraine. It's called kripka.
This is Iranian candy from our friend Frida, a YGI alum, who's now working with me in Maine. And here we go.
This is candy from Pakistan. It's stickers. Hi, this is Colombian guava candy.
Hello, these are cowtails from the USA. This is churran chutney from Pakistan.
These are chocolates.
Hi, these are tickly candies in 5 different flavors from India.
Hi, this is Malang Khao from South Korea.
This is saltwater taffy from New England.
These are melted coconut toffee from Ghana.
Hi, I'm Honey. These are Joy Ranchers.
These are Asia from Korea.
These are some candies from Brazil. Açúcar.
This is my favorite thing.
So what you just saw was our students stuffing one of our piñatas with candies that they brought from their home countries, or that someone else had them empty from another country. But anyway, we stuffed that piñata with all kinds of candies from everywhere, and they had such a good time. And I think the next video you're going to see how many tried, but most failed to break the piñata.
Está bien, señor. Okay.
That's Regina twisting everyone around.
I'm at a YJI conference.
Of course, there's always a lot of candy.
I'm at a YJI conference. Of course I'm sitting on the floor.
We're at a YJI conference. Of course it's raining.
We're YJI students. Of course, we have dance breaks.
We're at a YJI conference.
Of course we're climbing stairs.
We're at a YJI conference. Of course we stay up late talking to our friends.
We are at the YGI conference. Of course, we are ready to go by 8 a.m.
At the YJI Global Conference, of course we're surrounded by stray dogs.
I'm at a YJI conference with my own country. Of course, I'm translating 15 words at the same time.
We're YJI students at the Global Conference. Of course we take a lot of mirror selfies.
I'm a YJI student. Of course, I photobomb pictures. Whee!
I'm at a
Well, you can see that our social media team, which we had for the first time this year, was very busy, and they had a lot of fun making those, but they also worked really hard, and I wanted to show you some of them. The next thing I would like to do before I turn things over to the students is just really recognize one really special family in Mexico. This is Regina's family in Mexico City, who were with us every step of the way. Her mom and dad, her aunt and uncle, and her other uncle were there with us. They picked kids up from the airport. They came along with us on our walks around the city, on the subway, all over the place. They visited us. They took us shopping. Sometimes we even needed to lean on them a little bit for some medical support. They were amazing. They were the most kind and generous and welcoming family we could ever have imagined. And let me just show you the very first night that Steve and I arrived. Well, and Mary, sorry. I'm sorry. Okay,
We
photos.
need a technical team here.
I do need a technical team. So this is Regina and her wonderful mom and dad and Uncle Jesus and her brother Diego, who we only saw briefly, but he's also really awesome. And this family, if you think your kids had a great time, please also thank this family, because they were just beautiful, really beautiful. And I don't think it would have been the same experience. I know it wouldn't have been the same experience for any of us if they had not been there right with us. So thanks to them. Muchas, muchas gracias. First thing we did before even the students all showed up, whoops, sorry, was go grocery shopping. And we were a little surprised that the place where we were to go grocery shopping was a Walmart grocery store. So Anna was a little excited about going to a Walmart, and I think Nora was excited too. This is Anna and Nora. They were two of our group leaders students who helped us keep everyone organized and safe. Anna is from Colombia. She may not be able to make it to our call today because she is attending a university in the Netherlands this year, and her bike broke. And I think that's kind of an important thing in the Netherlands if you don't have your bike. So Anna will probably not be here today because she's dealing with a broken bike, but Nora is here. And Nora is also the photo bomber. And this is Steve in the Walmart with some of the groceries we were buying for the first day. And this is Anna and Nora and Regina, and they are making signs for everyone's bedroom door to show who's staying in this room. And they made them with such love. And this is Mary, who is studying in China right now, and I don't think she's going to make it, but maybe she'll arrive. And Holly and Anjola and Gemma and Anna, and they are in the airport, as you can see, and they're just arriving. This is the UK contingent. Holly was kind of shepherding Gemma and Anjola on their way, and Mary and Anna went to get them. This is a picture of the goodies that every student got when they got to their room. They each had a shirt and a notebook and some stickers and a flag and stuff like that. So we wanted to make sure they felt welcome, and they got the sign on their door, and they got this package of YJI stuff. And we took a little walk in the neighborhood before everyone arrived. And now we have Maya and Anjola and Gemma and Nora and Anna and Holly. And that's one of the signs for Maya and Gemma's door. And there's Uncle Jesus, and he and Nora and Anna went to pick up Cassiani, who flew in from Brazil. And that's Regina's dad and Steve. The two dads went off to get Tanya and Sarah and Damien. They were the last to arrive, and we were so glad to get them. And now that is beautiful Gemma, but whoops, sorry. And I'm going to show you one more video, and then I want to this is a little snapshot of how everyone, yeah, I know, I'm going to share my screen. I haven't done that yet. This is a little, oh, I cannot minimize that. Okay. All right. Okay. I apologize for my technical inaptitude. I'm trying to share my screen. Where are all my controls? Oh, here they are. I'm so nervous. There's so many people. Share. Okay. This is what the social media team came up. They created this to show how everyone was welcomed when they arrived at the house or at the airport. Can you all see that now? Can you see?
Yes.
Catching that flight. Yeah, way to go. We're so proud of you. Hello, sweetie.
On the short end of the straw.
Hey, So now I want to, what we're going to do is start with Regina because she was such a key person in our conference and she organized so much. And I'm going to show a little video of her. And then I want to turn it over to her and she's going to talk to you. And then we'll go on to the next students. So let me show the little video about Regina. Okay.
Hagan fila que ella busca a su pareja. Mira, mira, mírala. En el centro de la pista, mira cómo se menea. Mira, mira, mírala. Cómo baila, cómo goza y es la reina de la fiesta.
Now I want to highlight Regina.
Hi. Oh, I'm Regina Lopez. I'm a university student here in Mexico City. I'm 20, and I've been part of YJI since 2020. I literally joined during the pandemic, and actually, I was one of the first. I was lucky to be one of the first group of students that went to a global conference. The first time we went to a global conference, it was in Turkey, and that's where I met some of what I consider my best friends in literally the world. And then the next year we went off to Prague. And during those two conferences, I was always kind of like secretly loving for some time a conference be in Mexico City. Because I don't know, I always thought that Mexico City had so much to offer for a YGI Global Conference. And I think all my secret hints worked out because after the Prague conference, Jackie told me, "Hey, we're looking for places to do our next conference, and we were thinking about Mexico City. What do you think?" And I didn't even let her finish the question. I was like, just like, "Yes, I mean, let's do it," literally. So, and that's how we started planning. Actually, we got the house in 2023, I think. Yes, not even like a year before the conference. What happened? And I don't know. I always thought like, oh, in the back of my mind, oh, if the YGI kids come here, we could go there and we could eat here and we could do all this stuff. And I think that was just me manifesting because it actually happened. And when in that video, you see the video where we welcomed everyone, but thankfully you didn't saw the video where we said goodbye to everyone because I cried so hard. And but I think this is one of, or actually is the thing that I'm most proud of in my life. I don't know if there anything else is going to top that at the moment. I really missed everyone. And well, I had such a great time. I hope everyone did. And I think I wanted to include my family because YGI has been part of it since 2020. And I actually I didn't have a choice. My mom was like, "Oh, we're going to meet them." I'm sorry. And like she didn't have to tell me that they were meant to meet. So I'm really happy I could introduce both of my families here and show you around Mexico City. I'm so in love with my city, and actually one of the things that I wanted to do with this conference is that to show this side of Mexico City. For me, the city is very magical and there's a lot of things to do and see, and it has so much to offer. And although even me, if I have a lot of, I know all the bad things that are known about Mexico City, but I kind of wanted to show that there's so much to it. It's like, I think it's a very although it's a very global city, it also explains so much about me and my culture and my country. And although I was very subjective tour guide because I'm so in love with my city, probably I didn't show all the things that are Mexico City, but I think I made my objective country. Or I don't know if it's said that way, but I wanted to show all the things that I love about here to all my friends and my family. So yeah, that was kind of my experience planning all the side things of the conference. And during the conference, I was so I was just so happy to see my friends. I I think I was trying to do everything but I was just like over the moon, just being there with my friends. At first, I didn't believe that it could happen, and they were here. And the moment they stepped here, I was like, oh my God, they're in the airport. Oh my God, they're here. They're stepping on they're going to the places I go every day. They're seeing all these things that I love. I cannot believe it. And although we have our obstacles, or for example, the medical things, I don't know. I think we overcame them very well. And I think that didn't stop us from having a good time. And like I said, I think I was just having my friends at my home. Like I couldn't been happier. I couldn't have thought about anything else. So yeah, that's kind of my experience about the YGI conference.
Regina, one of the things that a lot of people loved so much about the conference was going to see the newspaper Reforma. Can you talk a little bit about how hard you worked to get us that tour?
Oh, yes. Well, last year I got an internship in this newspaper from Mexico that it's called Reforma. It's a very important newspaper here, and I was very, very lucky to have worked there, even if it was a little time there. And when they said, "Oh, the conference is happening," well, we are after all an organization that works for journalism and to improve education in journalism. So I said, "Oh, it could be kind of cool if they could see this place that I love so much. I'm going to see if I can do something about it. Like I'm going to try." So I'm going to try was I'm going to stop them into giving me what I want. So every day I was in an email like, "Hi, do you remember the girl that worked there for like 3 months?" Well, I want to do this. And every other day I would just write them. But and all the I it's one of my favorite, like I said, it's one of my favorite places in the world because it's this big, I don't know this big building, but it's not just like a normal building, like an office. It's a newspaper. It's actually one of the architectural must visits in Mexico City. So you can imagine that it's very beautiful. And I really admire the work that they do there. So I said, oh my God, if they want to see how the journalism scene is here in Mexico City, they must visit here. So, like I said, every other day, I was like, "Hey, do you remember me?" And actually, they actually gave me the visit 2 weeks before they arrived. So I was like, "Oh my God, okay, I don't care. I'm going to move all the schedule, but we are going to visit them." And that's another thing that I really enjoyed visiting them with YGI, because they could see that here because we have a very strong journalism scene here. Although we do have our problems, I also think that Mexico exports some of the best journalists in the world. So I was very, very happy that they could see that.
Thank you, Regina. And I'm going to play a quick little video about Gemma.
Hi, I'm Gemma Christie and I'm from Chester in the UK. And my favourite thing about being in Mexico has been visiting Frida Kahlo's house and seeing all of her beautiful artwork.
And now I need to. Gemma. There she is. Thank you for waiting.
Hi, I'm Gemma and I live in the city of Chester in the UK. I'm 17 and I joined YJI in 2023. In terms of what the conference meant to me, I learned a lot about the city of Mexico as well as a lot about independence. And it was also really nice to learn about different cultures from around the world, from everyone who was there, because we were all living together. And that was really, really fun and enriching. And I'm so grateful that I got to go. Mexico was probably not somewhere I would have thought of to travel to by myself. So I was so glad that I got to go with YJI. And also the food was really good. But I think most of all, I enjoyed meeting and reconnecting with loads of people from all over the world and seeing all my friends again. Yeah, that was probably my highlight. And I also really enjoyed getting to live with everyone in such close proximity, because I think we all worked really well together as a team, and we learned a lot about cooperation and compromise, and I'm just so grateful that I got to go.
Thanks, Gemma. Is Maya here? I know she was earlier. I've got a video about Maya to show you. Good, she's here.
Hi, my name is Maya Mabwahino Pari from Ghana. I'm currently in Mexico City, exploring the beautiful places in Mexico City. I must say I liked everything in Mexico City, but my favorite was the Frida Kahlo's house. Thank you. Hello everyone, good afternoon from Ghana. My name is Maya Mabwahino Pari. I'm 20 years and I've been with YJI since 2022.
Oh, thank you.
At the first time, I had lots of thoughts and a mixed feeling, but then it's all cleared when I got there. The conference was a welcoming and an inspiring place to be. I felt at ease with each and everybody. I was happy to, for the first time, meet my friends from different countries, interact with them, and connect with them. This conference was a transformative one for me because it actually taught me how to do things on my own. I experienced self-growth for the first time, leaving my comfort zone, which is Accra, Ghana, and embarking on a very lengthy journey was something I'd never done before. But with bravery, I did it, and I was so happy. I really liked everything that happened at the conference, the piñata, visiting Central Parks, the museum, the towers. I would like to thank Jackie and Steve for making this conference an exciting one for me. And thanks to all the board members who were part of this. Thank you.
Thanks, Maya. I meant to show this before Maya's turn, but it's a little bit of from Templo Mayor.
Greetings, my name is Nora Springborn. I'm from Pekin, Illinois in the USA, and we are here. We are downtown Mexico City with the Youth Journalism International 2024 Global Conference. Right now we're at the Templo Mayor, exploring the ancient ruins and a lot of different historic artifacts.
And I have no.
Hello, my name is Nora Springborn. I'm from Pekin, Illinois in the USA. My favorite part of our conference here in Mexico City has truly been the joy, whether it's interacting with people from all around the world or experiencing new sites of Mexico City. What a joy it's been to be here and a lot of fun.
Looking for Nora. There she is.
Very nice. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Nora Springborn. I'm from Pekin, Illinois, in the USA. I'm 19 years old, and this is my third year with Youth Journalism International, and I've been so grateful to be a part of 3 global conferences and my first year as a conference leader as well. Thank you all for being here today. It's so special for us to not only see each other, but to also talk about our experiences and how much fun we truly had with that as well. Each year, global conferences, I'm continued to be blown away by how much I learn culturally, ethnicity, and friendship-wise as well. Whether that's learning how to navigate a washing mat in Mexico City or learning about the school systems in Ghana and many other different cultural things. I enjoy speaking to each person, and I enjoy bringing those facts and information home with me long after the conference is done as well. It truly means the world for me to continue to be at our global conferences as well. I couldn't imagine my world without Youth Journalism International, and I also couldn't imagine spending a couple weeks out of the summer to be able to enjoy and have this special time with everyone as well. This year, it was a continued blessing to be able to reconnect with friends from all around the world and to foster new friendships as well that run long after our conference is over within our 10 days as well. I think we can all continually interact and continue to make those friendships and bonds long after too. And I think it's a pretty common theme within all of us how many the past couple of months we've spent the time spent going through our camera rolls, looking at photos from the conference, our old videos as well. We miss it a lot too. Personally, my dorm room is littered and filled with so many of our pictures from our conferences, and I love looking at it and reminiscing on our special time together as well. What it comes down to with our conferences is we visit some pretty incredible places, some pretty incredible museums and sites, but it has to be our special moments, whether that's interacting with each other, talking, staying up late, laughing, and interacting with our people. We are so happy to have those special memories as well. And the best feeling is leaving a country like Mexico City that personally I would never have thought to have traveled to or visit to and just have fallen in love with the culture, the food, and the special people there that are there too. So again, thank you to Jackie and Steve and Mary for making all of this possible, for making Youth Journalism International possible, and for our time together to be with each other too. And a huge shout out to Regina and her family, our conference queen. This wouldn't be possible without you. And we are so happy that we had our time together in Mexico City. Thank you.
Thank you, Nora. I am going to screen, and Cassiani is up after this little video.
Hello, my name is Cassiani. I'm from Brazil, Rio de Janeiro. And one thing that I completely loved about the conference for sure was to be immersed in a completely different culture and learn about this place and all the culture, all the things about the history. It was really amazing.
I'm looking for Cassiani.
Hi everybody. My name is Cassiani. I'm from Rio, Brazil, but currently I'm living in Aveston, Chicago. Talking a little bit about the conference, I'm really grateful for being invited by Jackie and Steve. It was an amazing experience. Was literally the time of my life. I love like sharing experience and new perspective with my friends. So it was really amazing creating this type of friendship while learning about a new place with our different like perspective and ideas. I'm really grateful for everything that Regina's and Regina family, Steve and Jack did for me during my time there. I was able to put in practice a lot of journalism skills, what is really important for me right now. And I can see how I'm keeping like growing, and I'm able to have everything that YGI is putting for me in my current academic life. That was totally a moment of growing and developing my own skills, and also as a human. I'm very happy. I'm looking forward for the next conference, and that was amazing. Thank you very much for everything.
Thanks, Cassiani. During our time together, we had a couple of birthdays, and I have to say, I think that Samantha Esquivel, was probably the very best at organizing the birthday celebrations. So she is right front and center at this one. The very first birthday was Saritha Ganluri, who arrived the very night she arrived, it was birthday time. So here's a little. And here is Saritha talking about her.
Hi, my name is Sarah Ganluri. I'm from Clarksburg, Maryland, and I've had a great time in Mexico City. But I think I'd have to say my favorite thing here was going to see the pyramids at Teotihuacan.
Stop share. Spotlight. Give me a second. Sarah. There she is.
Can everyone hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. I'm not sure if anyone's following, but there was recently a lot of storming. I'm currently in North Carolina and our Wi-Fi has been spotty. So I'm glad I get to be here. But I'm really glad I get to see everyone. I think that's like one of the most enriching parts of a conference in general is having these connections that continue to be built and cherished after the 10 days that we spend there. Um, I mean, Regina was saying that YJI has gifted her some of the people that she considers her very best friends in the world. And I wholeheartedly can second that statement. Some of my best friends in the whole world are on this Zoom call, and I wouldn't have been able to spend that much time with them had it not been for our trip in Mexico. Um, I would also say that I learned a lot about um, journalism and what I want to pursue in the future. As a first year university student, I feel like it's a lot of uncertainty, and talking with so many people who either are more experienced and have been through college, are more advanced in their college careers. Um, it really helped me understand what I want to pursue and what I want to do going forward. Um, yeah, and I just wanted to say a huge thank you to Regina and her family and everything they did for us. My first experience in Mexico City after landing was being driven back to the casa by Uncle Jesus, and that was, I felt immediately welcomed. It was really nice. And of course, a big thank you to all our conference leaders. They did such a great job in making sure everyone felt, together, and they really fostered that team connection that I feel like is so characteristic of YJI. And certainly last but not least, Jackie and Steve and everyone that made it possible for me to be there and made it possible for all the people that I got to meet to be there. So thank you so much. And I really had a great time of my life.
Spotlight. I don't know if Anna's here, but here's a little video. This is the Museum of Chocolate.
Hey Anna, where are we?
Chocolate.
Is Anna here? She is the one who has to broken bicycle in the Netherlands. She is from Bogota, and she is started school in, I think it's Amsterdam in the Netherlands, and has a broken bike. Is she here? Okay. All right. So we will go on to a little video about Holly. And then Holly will share her.
Hi, I'm Holly. I'm from Wales in the UK, and I've had a wonderful time here in Mexico City. My favourite part of the trip has been being here on the boat in Xochimilco. Thank you. Hi, I'm Holly. I'm 21 and I'm from Wales in the UK. I've been part of YGI since 2020, like Regina and some of the other people on this call. And I've been lucky enough to attend all three of YGI's global conferences and have been a group leader in the last two, which has been a great opportunity for me to develop my confidence and leadership skills. Mexico City this year was definitely a highlight of my time as a YGI student. I got to reconnect with some of my best friends, make new friends, and kind of deepen those connections and relationships. I love that being with friends from all different backgrounds teaches me so much, not just about culture and about traditions, but also about myself and the person that I'm growing up to be. It challenges my perspective in the best way and really gets me to think about the world in a way that I wouldn't have thought about otherwise. Um, in Mexico City, we all lived the same experiences, but we came to them with different backgrounds, different ideas, different feelings. And so each of us had a unique experience of the same thing. And I think that's something that I noticed was really special this time round. We got to share moments like the Xochimilco boat ride or dancing in the square or exchanging our favorite snacks from back home. And whilst we were all part of these shared moments, we each took away from it our own memories, our own thoughts, our own feelings. And it's really great that you can have people from all of these different backgrounds, different cultures, different countries, literally from opposite ends of the globe, come together and share these moments and have that experience that we can then carry forward. And then we go back to these different parts of the world, our own lives, but we still have something that kind of connects us all at the heart of it. And I think that's something that's really special about the conferences is that we leave these conferences and we go back to really individual, unique, different lives, but we still have these shared moments and things that we can reminisce on and things that kind of bring us together as one big family.
Thank you, Holly. How did you know to mention the dancing in the square? So it was very early on in our time together, and we were in Alameda Park in the evening, and this really just unfolded very organically. It wasn't planned. All right. And oh, I do have one more to share before we go on to Damien.
Hi, I'm Damien. I'm from Seoul, South Korea. I've had a wonderful time in Mexico City, and one thing I really liked is the food. I especially like Mexican food, and trying it here, authentic, was really nice, and I liked all the diverse flavors, and I hope to come again soon.
For Damien. There he is. Take it away, Damien.
Hi everyone, my name is Damien. I'm from Seoul, South Korea.
I'm 18 years old, and I've been with YJI since January of this year. One thing I learned was that Mexico had so much more to offer than what I had originally expected. And I think from the very beginning, I realized that the people of Mexico were so respectful and kind to one another. And I thought Regina's family were so welcoming of YJI, and they were always there to make everything happen. And I also remember the one time when we were walking the streets of Mexico City, and someone in a restaurant shouted, "Long live the press," which was so unexpected but heartwarming. And not only were the people warm and welcoming, but like I mentioned in the video, the food was as well. And I can say without hesitation that I had the best guacamole I've ever tasted in my life, as well as trying new foods such as cactus and spicy candy that I would have otherwise never have gotten to taste had it not been for the conference. And I think I also found out that I loved art museums and artworks of all kinds, and YJI helped me uncover this interest of mine as well. It meant a lot to be a part of this conference, and because every experience was made special by the people that I went with. And as much as I enjoyed exploring Mexico, I think it wouldn't have been the same without with different people because I got to talk to so many amazing friends who were eager to tell their stories. And I think I left Mexico with much more than one cultural understanding, many. And knowing that this was a one of a kind experience that I wasn't going to get anywhere else, I think that made me want to try extra hard to embrace every moment I was there. And I think Mexico was a truly eye-opening experience. And as someone who loves to immerse in new cultures, I think it meant a lot that I got the opportunity to explore Mexico with the YGI team. Thank you, everyone.
Damien, how was it to be the only boy?
I think it was both a struggle and a nice thing because I got my own room. So I think it had its ups and downs.
Thank you. You handled it well. You had a whole bunch of sisters. Okay, Anya's next, so I'm going to share the screen.
I'm Anya Faruqi and I'm from Karachi, Pakistan. My favorite part of being in Mexico was visiting the Palace of the Fine Arts Museum.
Hi, my name's Anya Faruqi. I live in Karachi, Pakistan. I've been a part of YGI since February of this year. I'm 15 years old. It was really amazing to get to go to this conference. I learned so much, especially about Mexican culture and the art, like Diego Rivera's art, which was really amazing to see. It meant a lot to me to come to this conference because it was my first time traveling without my parents or my family, particularly such a unique context like a journalism conference. I'm really grateful to everyone, especially Jackie, Steve, and Rahina's family, as well as the board members and the sponsors, without who the conference never would have happened. I had such a fantastic time, and I made some really great friends, including our next speaker, Anjola, who will speak after a short video.
Thank you. Let's see. Actually, Tanya is up next if Tanya's here. Is Tanya here? Sarah, do you know if Tanya's here?
I think she's out of town. She's traveling. It was her birthday.
Hi, my name is Tanya,
a
and
few
I'm
days ago.
Okay. Well, here is our Ukrainian, and she will give you her little, we'll play the video anyway.
Hi, my name is Tanya, and I'm from Ukraine. And my favorite thing in Mexico City was exploring Mexican cuisine.
Okay, and then we are going to Anjola.
Hi everyone, my name is Angela Fashaway and I'm from London in the UK. I'm here with Youth Journalism International, and my favorite part about being in Mexico City was visiting the newspaper Reforma and just getting to understand how a Mexican newspaper works and the process that goes into it.
There she is.
Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me okay. My name is Angela and I'm zooming in from London. I'm 18 and I joined YJI in 2021. I went to the last year's conference in Prague and it was amazing. And so I knew I definitely wasn't hesitant to go to this year's conference in Mexico. And I had such an amazing time with everyone in YJI, meeting new students and already the people that I had met in the Prague conference as well. Um, some of my highlights were just talking with everyone, connecting over their different cultures, connecting over food, and learning more about Mexican history. Like I said in the video, my favorite day was the Reformer newspaper day, and I enjoyed it so much because it was amazing to see how Mexicans really value independent journalism and like the strength that they have in reporting these stories as well. I want to say a big thank you to Regina as well and her family because they were definitely very vital in this conference and making sure it was all pieced together very well. And overall, I just had an amazing time, and I'm very grateful to all the donors and to Jackie and Steve and Mary and everyone who also helped us and guided us while we were at the conference. And thank you.
Thanks, Angela. We have Am I sharing? Okay, hold on. This is a little snip of our visit to Anawakali, which was Diego Rivera's place.
Hi, I'm Damien from Seoul, South Korea. We're at the YJI. I'm with Youth Journalism International at the 2024 Global Conference. Here we are at Anawakali, and this building was made by Diego Rivera, but he died, so sadly he couldn't live in this house. And this was based off the pyramids of Teotihuacan.
And next up is going to...
Hello, my name is Samantha Esquivel and I'm from Tamaulipas, Mexico. And right now we're at Xochimilco in some traditional Mexican boats called trajineras. They look like this, but in big, like this. And right now we're surrounded by music. It overlaps with each other because it's like some mariachis and then like some people with their speakers on and yeah, it's very cool and it's very crowded too. But yeah, very exciting and I'm very excited to try the food as well. And so yeah.
Now Sammy. Sammy was on the Sammy and Sarah were both on the social media team, so big ups to them.
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. So, hello, my name is Samantha Esquivel, and I really enjoyed the conference. So I'm from Matamoros, Tamaulipas, which is like bordering with Texas. So growing up, even though I like spent all my life in Mexico, I didn't get to see much of the culture because of how close it was with the US. So it was definitely like interesting to go to Ciudad de Mexico, which is like the capital of Mexico, and go to their museums. You see like all the people living there and trying their traditional food. So one of the articles that I wrote was about the chile en nogada, which I had never tried, even though I had lived in Mexico. And basically, it's this traditional dish that it's a seasonal dish, and it has a chile en nogada, and it's surrounded by this white cream sauce. Very delicious, and people wait for it like all year to eat it. So again, I learned a lot about Mexican culture, and that was like very significant to me because I myself am from Mexico. And so it was very nice to learn about my own country while like still making new friends from all over the world. And I would also like to thank Regina's family. They truly made La Casa Guayay feel like an actual house, and more than a house, a home. And thank you for all the people who were involved in making going there possible. Even though it was my first time going to a conference and I've been in YI for quite a short while. I've been in YI since like February of this year. It really felt nice. At first I was a little awkward, but then I like warmed up to the people there. So thank you for everyone in this call, and thank you for the friends that I made there. And yeah, thank you, Yaki and Steve, for giving me the opportunity to go.
It would not have been the same without you, Sammy.
Thank you.
And is Arush here?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you going to put your camera on, or is that not possible?
No, I can put it on.
Oh, much better. Thank you. Arush is a board member of YJI and one of our outstanding stars of all time. And well, that's all I've got to say.
Okay, well, going to Mexico was really amazing. I thought it was going to be a lot for me because I recently came back from the US and then all the way to Pakistan. And then I was like, okay, from Pakistan, I have to go all the way back. So many long flights. But it was like every single second was way more than worth it. And I think even though Mexico was amazing, one of the really good things that came out of me going to Mexico was a little pit stop in Istanbul. And so when we were going, it just, so me and Anya were going together. And then it just coincidentally, it happened that Maya was also like on the similar flights, and we were in Istanbul together. And we had 15 hours, and we weren't gonna just stay in the airport and quietly wait for our flights. So we went into the city, and it was really amazing. It was my first time when I was responsible for YGI students all by myself. And it was very adventurous. Once we got a hold of each other, then we went outside. We met other we met other Turkish students, and we had lunch. Then we went to the Galata Tower. From there, we could see all of Istanbul and the Bosphorus and everything. There were also some museum exhibits that we got to see, and I think it was a lot of fun. And we were so tired that when we got back into the bus to go back to the airport, we were already texting in the group and saying that as soon as we get back, we are the ones who are going to go into the shower first. And we deserve those spots. But then when we did get to Mexico, like showers were like the last thing on our mind because it was such a warm welcome. Everyone was there. So in the previous conferences, I have not experienced this because I have usually been the first or the one with the team that's managing it all to arrive. But this time I was one of the last people to arrive, and everyone was at the door and they were just like, oh my God, welcome. And it was so amazing. It took all the tiredness of all the long flights and Istanbul, it took all of that away. And then of course I can never forget the food. Like we would make avocado sandwiches every single day, and we would pack them to keep with us, and in the morning, in the evening, all the time. The food was so amazing. Even when we would walk from one place to the other, like on the streets, people would just be having food with loud music. They would be enjoying their life. It was amazing. I told Regina when we were having the tour of Coyoacan that I'm gonna live here one day because it's such a beautiful city, and it just feels so lively. Like you feel alive just being here. I think my favorite part was Frida Kahlo's house, but also the Palace of Fine Arts. I can't choose. But Frida Kahlo's house was amazing. I could not believe, I almost started crying there because I couldn't believe that I was there, and like she was there at one point. And it had all of her things and the stories and letters that she wrote. It was amazing. It was one of my favorite parts. And I think we met a lot of new students, and there were also a lot of the ones that I've met before. It was such a wonderful mix, and seeing them just laughing and playing games at night. It was a lot of fun. And I was also sharing a room with Mary, which I really, really appreciated because I had thought that we hadn't had enough time together during the year that I was in the US. So I was very happy to have more time there as well. It was just a very amazing experience in all the senses. So I really, really loved it.
Okay, Aruj, I'm going to show those pictures from Istanbul, and maybe you could just talk about them. This looks like you're headed off on your.
Yes, this was on Karachi airport just before leaving Pakistan. And this is in Istanbul when we were out and about, and there was a lot of walking, and it was actually very hot. It was hotter than it had been, I think, on our conference 2 years ago. And it got a lot at one point. But we, as YGI students, continuing our legacy, we just soldiered on.
Excellent.
And of course, we went up a tower too. And this is us having lunch.
And that's IPEC.
Yes, the EPIC was already in Istanbul, and she came to meet us. And she also went with us to Galata Tower, and we went to a park afterwards. We found this really windy path between, because we wanted to see water and the ocean, and it was really great.
IPEC actually goes to the University of Massachusetts right now, but she was summering in Istanbul, and hopefully we'll see her again this fall. Now we have a video. Oh, I should have just kept that. Teotihuacan.
Hi everyone, my name is Angela.
Okay, we're going to see the pyramids. Just one moment. I know I have to share my screen.
Hi everyone, my name is Angela Pashwe and I'm from London in the UK. I'm here with Youth Journalism International, and right now you can see the Pyramid of the Sun, and on the other side we can also see the Pyramid of the Moon.
Is Shayna here?
I think I've seen Shayna.
Is Shayna here? Okay. Is Mary here? Okay. Time zones were especially challenging for them. And I have one more video to show. Oh. After this, we have the opportunity to show some pictures and spur some more conversation, and also take any questions that anyone might have. I'm trying to find the folder that I just had open. Oh, my goodness. I might have to, no, I need it.
Let's start with some questions.
Yeah, we'll start with questions, and then I will find that folder. And I will stop sharing so we can ask questions. Okay. So we have students, current students here, we have some alums, and we have some wonderful supporters and visitors and parents and family members. So feel free to ask a question. Come on, there's a bunch of journalists here. Charlie, what's your biggest question? What's the thing you're wondering about? Way to put the youngest kid on the spot.
I don't have a question right now.
Oh no. Oh no. How about Noah? Noah does. It's Noah's birthday. Happy birthday, Noah. Okay. I'm going to find this. What all right, I've got it. Okay, where was it? Oh, Guadalupe. After the pyramids, we went to see a famous shrine called the Our Lady of Guadalupe.
Hi, my name is Sarah Ganluri. I'm from Maryland in the United States. And right now at the Global Conference in Mexico City, we're standing in front of the shrine of Our Lady of Guadalupe. And it was initially built in 1695 with additions made continuously.
Okay. And all right. I thought I would show some pictures. And these are just sort of randomly selected. And you who attended this conference, please jump in and talk about what you see. Gemma, where are you in this picture?
That was from very early on in the conference where I think we all went to a market, and because I brought that coat because it was very bright and I didn't want anyone to lose me. And Mary said that I blended in with all of the sweets in the background, so she took that photo.
Sammy, can you tell us about this? What are we looking at?
There are a bunch of like knots, and I'm trying to read the small little like yellow letters, but yeah, one of them says almendra. So it's like oh, how do you say that? They're basically nuts.
Yeah.
Tasty nuts.
We bought some
Almonds.
we bought some of these to have at the house. And Arush, where are you in this picture?
I'm in the same market, and it was so interesting to see that everything was available in the same market. Like there were party decorations, there was fresh produce, and there was lots and lots of candy, and there were clothes. Everything you could imagine that you wouldn't ever need in your life was there in this market. And I especially loved that the way that the market was set up was exactly like we have something called Sunday Bazaar, or sometimes it's on Saturdays, but it's very much like this. Oh, okay, yeah. So it's very much like this, and it reminded me a lot of home. I love the market, and yeah.
Maya, what are you doing here in this picture? Is Maya still here? Maybe Regina, you can talk about it.
Yes. Oh, we were at the Ciudadela. Ciudadela is one of the many markets that we have or for artisans. And that's in the downtown, the historic district in downtown Mexico. Here I am smiling because Maya is with me.
Okay, so it doesn't.
Our beautiful YGI t-shirts designed by Sammy.
Yes.
We've had some questions, so why don't?
Oh, okay. I'm not looking at the chat.
So one of them is about that a lot of people mentioned the great food in Mexico. Did anyone get a chance to try a food they'd never had before?
The question is, did any of you get a chance to try a food that you never had before? Nora, I know you did. Oh, Gemma, you go ahead.
I actually got to try avocado for the first time when I was in Mexico because in the UK avocado is quite expensive, so we don't really get it that often. But in Mexico there was just loads of it, and it was really nice. So I started having avocados more now that I'm back home. But it's expensive, so not that many.
They were also very good in Mexico. Nora, I think you tried some things.
We tried grasshopper. We tried cactus. That was in this very green drink that we all got to try. Very mixed reviews on both the grasshoppers and the cactus drink.
Who else remembers trying something they hadn't had before? How about, wait, Damien. I'm looking for Damien. Damien, just start speaking.
Yeah, so I really like the cactus. If I had to explain what it tasted like, it was like a blend of sweet and like a watery texture. It was like a softened version of the green part of the watermelon, and I liked how it had like seeds stuck in it, and they were very crunchy, and I think it was very nice, and I think I could finish a whole bowl of those cactus.
How about you, Anya? What do you remember any food you want to tell
Oh
us
yeah,
about?
the grasshoppers for sure. And honestly, I don't know about any mixed reviews because I really enjoyed them. They were like little crisps, like almost. So that was really fun. And also I had a lot of fish. So that was really yummy.
Sarah, Cassiani, can you guys, or Holly? Who else is here? Angela, how about you?
Oh yeah, I was gonna say for me, I don't know how you pronounce it, but I think chilaquiles. It's like tortilla and salsa, and it was really great. And I got to try the red and the green one, so I really liked it.
What can you tell us about your visitors and food, Regina?
Oh, that's something that I was really excited about because if you ask me, even if I wasn't from here, which is my favorite cuisine, I would say Mexican. And actually, chilaquiles is one of my favorite dishes. And actually, something that I was really surprised is that, for example, some of my friends that they are Mexican, they are not that adventurous with food. And I don't know, it filled me with so much joy when everyone was just like, "Oh yes, give me more food." And I was like, "Oh."
What's another question?
Just another question about, did the students write articles while they were there about Mexico?
Okay, good question. Do the students write articles while in Mexico about Mexico? And you probably are anxious to see the work that the things that they wrote about, and so am I. And so am I anxious to publish it. That's a lot of that's on me. I've been shifting my focus to the students who were waiting for me while I was in Mexico. But some of the students, as soon as they got finished with our conference, some of them moved countries, some of them started school, and they didn't really have a lot of time. So there's some of them are still working on it, but I'll let them tell you if they want to. Yes, Uncle Jesus is here. And anyway, I want to say, please don't give up on these stories. They will be appearing, and Sammy actually interviewed the chef about the chiles en nogada, and Uncle Jesus is the reason that we knew about this being such a famous dish. He told us all about it, and so anyway, you guys are in for some treats when they do finish. But anybody want to talk about something you're working on? Anybody? Any of you guys want to share about something you're working on? Or Anya, go ahead.
So I worked on a piece with Maya about the colors and the culture in Mexico as well. So that was a piece we both worked on together in Mexico. And also with Sammy about all the street music we saw there, which was so amazing because that's not really like a thing that happens like where I live in Pakistan. But it was so amazing. Like every corner would there be a new performer. And I'm also working on a personal piece, which is taking a little longer than I expected, but hopefully you should have it done soon.
Anybody else want to talk about that? Or just stay tuned. You guys will see a really nice collection of work before too long. Are there other questions? I can also pull up more pictures. This is in the very famous hotel in downtown Mexico City with a beautiful Tiffany styled windows and skylights. And this is just on our first day together, and Sammy and Maya were getting to know each other. Do you guys remember taking that picture?
Yes, I took it. It was very nice. It was after like taking a bunch of pictures of each other because I was like, okay, pose there, and we'd take a picture of each other, and then I pose, and then she'd take the picture, and so that was like the last picture we took that day.
Whoops, sorry. That's the ceiling. Nora, do you want to speak for you and Anna? What was this about?
Yeah, we were just admiring all the stained glass that was in the ceiling of this building. Beautiful, especially with the sunlight coming through. Perfect photo spot.
It was. And Regina, do you know where Mary is in this picture?
Yes, that's the Chinatown of Mexico City
Oh.
in the historic center
And
district.
Mary is actually in China now working on her master's degree. So that's where she is.
Oh, that's
this looks like a Holly picture to describe what is happening here.
Okay, I believe we're at the Templo Mayo Museum.
Yep.
But I can't remember exactly what we were doing at that time.
I think you were enjoying each other's company.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Okay, what's going on here?
Oh, this time I remember I think this was like one of the first nights that we were all back together and we were just catching up. And I think we were looking at old photos from the other conferences because we were like recreating a picture that we'd had taken at other conferences, and we were just laughing at how different we looked, or just like memories and just remembering what had happened before.
That's
it's really special to have this 1 week every year of the conference to come together back with your best friends. And there's so much to catch up on as well. And we love every moment.
I think you guys, these are the group leaders. And this might have even been before everyone arrived. Or maybe it was the first night.
I think it was the first breakfast.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, maybe. And Regina, you want to talk about this one? It's across the street from our house.
Yes, the first time we went out, I actually loved our neighborhood, and I picked our neighborhood to live there for a week because it's my favorite place in Mexico City. If I love Mexico City, I love twice this neighborhood, and because it's very traditional and historic, and we can learn so much from there, and it's really beautiful and colorful. All the houses there are really colorful. So that was the first time we went out. 2 hours before it rained, it poured.
And there's your mom.
Yes.
With her hat, and she was a leader and showing everyone her hat, and everyone was to follow the hat.
Yes. Yes. It actually came out really useful, that hat.
Absolutely. And it also looks good on her.
Yes.
And where are we here?
We are still in our neighborhood in front of our house, going to the subway on our first adventure.
Keep talking, Regina. You're doing a good job.
They're all my beautiful friends, looking beautiful in still our neighborhood. Yes, and that's also our first day going on our way to the subway I think that day we're going to the historic district. oh, that's my group leaders going, well, in front of the restroom, but with our subway cards to the for subway. And that's my mom. Something that we do have in Mexico City is that the subway has a separate wagon for girls. I mean, you can enter to any wagon you want, but these wagons are special if you feel safer with just girls. So because we have a large group of girls and women, most of the time they went to that wagon.
So we had a question about whether people felt safe in Mexico City. Let's say.
Oh, someone was asking, did people feel safe in Mexico City? Let's start with Sarah.
I think I never felt unsafe. I felt like, especially because I was with, um, I felt like people that were very experienced with traveling, and also Regina's family was just amazing in making sure that we had everything we needed. I never felt like I was like unsafe. I thought we were always together, and we were always prepared. So I think it was a very great way to explore a place that maybe my parents wouldn't have let me go to on my own as like a solo travel.
Speaking of parents, Gemma, did you feel like it was safe?
Yes. Yeah, I always felt relatively safe. I, like Sarah said, I never felt unsafe. And my parents were a bit unsure about how safe Mexico was at the start. I know Rahina mentioned before, Mexico sometimes has a reputation for not being very safe, but I really enjoyed myself and I think it was fine and I definitely recommend going.
I felt safe. I felt very safe everywhere that we were. How about Nora? Do you want to say anything about that?
Yeah, definitely very safe. And again, a huge shout out to Regina and her family and all of our Spanish speakers. Definitely helped with that safety aspect.
Anybody else want to talk about that?
Oh, yes. A special thank you to my family because at first, even me, I was I was kind of a bit not very, a bit nervous of, oh my God, there's going to be a lot of people, how I'm going to conduct everyone. And like I said, I'm very, very thankful to my family, to my uncle Jesus, Beto, and Lulu, and my parents, because I always felt very safe, but with them, I could just let go. So I really, really, really thankful for them to be there with me.
They really were watching us the whole time. I think we would have been safe anyway, but it was great. Spencer's asking. Thank you, Spencer. That's what I thought too. I think that some of them had to report back. Nora, didn't you have a lot of people saying, "Gosh, why are you going to Mexico City? Isn't that unsafe?"
I did. I absolutely did. And I think it really struck me in Mexico City that not only were we here, but just how different all those stereotypes and different perceptions that people have who haven't had the opportunity to travel outside of a country have about a country until they're in it and experiencing it.
Right. I don't want to shut down anybody. Is there anybody else that wants to talk to the safety aspect? Anya or Aruj or
Honestly, I wasn't really nervous about safety. I was given some talks by like my parents and my aunt gave me a talk as well, but I felt totally safe both in Istanbul and in Mexico as well. I think it was fantastic.
How about you, Maya? Where's Maya? Maya sometimes has trouble with her internet. I'm not sure. We may have lost her. Anybody else want to talk about that, or have we covered it? Okay.
Any other questions?
I'm going to go back to pictures, but put your questions in. If you didn't feel safe, was this guy the problem? There's
He was always taking
he was a
pictures.
man always taking pictures of you.
Yes. You kind of develop a sixth sense of when to smile at the right time. Oh, that's Sarah and Damien and Sheena. I think we're in Coyoacán there.
So you guys are reading something in a museum. What does anybody remember this one?
I think that's Templo Mayor.
First got there.
That's Tanya and Sarah at Templo Mayor. And that's all of them. That was pretty cool. It's very large outdoor space, but also a lot of inside space where you could see lots of ruins and artifacts. It was nice. That's Mary with Nora and Maya. Sarah, can you explain yourself?
Oh my gosh. So in Istanbul, we went to a museum on the first day, and there were a lot of statues, and I think I built a reputation for being able to very accurately mimic the faces that the statues were making. And I decided to continue my legacy in the great city of Ciudad de Mexico. So when we saw these skulls, I thought, what better way to take a picture than to show off my pearly whites?
Damien and Cassiani, can you tell us, and do you remember this very cool mouth of a dragon?
I remember we were at Templo Mayor and we were exploring together, and then we saw this big dragon and we decided to take this picture. And it was really fun because we wanted to touch everything, but we couldn't. But that was nice. It was nice to take that picture.
Damien, you're a perfect gentleman holding the umbrella.
Yeah, we were waiting for a restaurant, and while we were waiting, it started to rain, and I guess I was the one who had to protect some students from the rain.
You did a good job. Here was another birthday celebration at a restaurant. Sammy also organized this. You want to talk about this, Sammy?
Sure. I was trying to make it a surprise, but I think she started like suspecting it because I kept going to her and being like, "Hey, what's your favorite color? Do you have any specific flavor that you like?" And so I just kept running back and down, and then I went like down with this. It's the one at the left, the guy just clapping. We went downstairs and we got the cake, and then we got the little candle, and then we just carried it there, and we started singing.
That's board member Shayna Zerlin, who was a YGI student as a teenager and now serves on our board. I think this is Anya in front of the Palace of Fine Arts.
Yep, it was actually one of my favorite experiences on the trip. This was such an amazing museum.
Sammy, this is your picture.
Yes, I took it like while just watching them because it was just so cool to see them dance. I really enjoy watching like I don't know how to explain it. There are so many different dances by every state of all Mexico, and just seeing it right in front of me, it was very beautiful. As I just took a picture of it to remember it.
While we're looking at this interesting picture from an art museum, I do want to say, actually, maybe just stop share for a second and tell you, thank you so much for everyone for being here. If you want to stay and see more pictures, we've got some more to talk about, and I'm pretty sure the kids want to keep talking to each other. You're welcome to stay, but I don't want anyone to feel like they have to sit here and watch these things. So Steve suggested that maybe I tell everybody it's okay to leave if you need to leave, but you're welcome to stay. asking more questions, making comments. We love it all, and we're having fun seeing each other. So if you need to go, that's totally cool. But if you want to stay, that is also great. So I'm going to go back to showing pictures. Damien, you want to talk about this exhibit?
Yeah, so this exhibit was by an artist named Damien Ortega, which coincidentally shares the same name as me. And this artwork was made of different tools that were used in the industry. And yeah, it was cool to stand like in the middle and have all those tools pointing at us.
And Sammy was giving us a little lesson on Diego Rivera's artwork, right, Sammy?
Yes. I stayed like well, there was a tour guide explaining it, and I absorbed as much information as I could, and then I repeated it but in English.
You did a good job.
Thank you.
Rahina, you seem to have been drawn to the Columbia. This was all the pictures of the theaters around the world, the Spanish world, right?
Yes, in the museum there was this temporary exhibit where they kind of showed these pictures of all the famous theaters in South America, and of course I had to take a picture of the Colombian theaters with my favorite Colombian.
Gemma, do you remember this one?
Yes, I think there was like a really impressive painting on the ceiling, and I think you can see a bit the ceiling's very elaborate. So me and Anya had a picture and we were trying to get as much of it in as we could.
And Holly, where are you and Nora?
What was the name of that? We're on the balcony of this really nice place that we went for dinner.
Uh-huh.
That I
Sanborn.
can't remember
Yep.
what it
Sanborn.
was called.
Sanborn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's the Palace of Fine Arts in the background. And I think we literally had just gone to find the bathroom. We had to queue for ages to use the bathroom, and then we were coming back and we saw like everybody was looking out the window. So we went out and it was a really pretty view when like it was getting dark and the lights were coming on outside.
That is
And then,
a gorgeous building. This is your picture, Holly. Very
Yeah.
nice. I guess we all like the backdrop of the Museum of Fine Arts. And this is also yours, Holly. Do you remember what this sculpture was in front across the street from the Palace of Fine Arts?
Wasn't it like, so obviously it's the like gender equality symbol, but I don't know whether there was more significance of it being like a memorial or something
This
for
is
people who.
This is not one more, but Rahina knows better, I think. What is it?
Every year in March 8th, we in Mexico City we organize this big manifestation where all the women in Mexico City come to the streets to manifest for our rights, because something really, really sad about Mexico City is that it's one of the places where most feminicides or homicides because of women happen. So ni una más, it's me, like Jackie said, it means not one more, like not more women killed. I don't know if I got myself understood, but that's basically what this little demonstration means, because this is the place where most of the manifestations take place.
Thank you. And this is Tanya Takshenko from Ukraine, and she is on probably a similar balcony, maybe around the corner. Where are we here, Regina?
That's the entrance of our subway, where we're going to the historic district. Yes. Actually, the subway part, I was kind of nervous at first because, for example, some of my closest friends haven't been in the subway, and have lived there here all their lives. But I'm going to try, and if I don't like it, I'm just going to think of another way, but I think it went pretty well.
It did, and for the most part, we were in the vans, but
Mhm.
but we did take the subway a few times. It was fine. And this is in the Palace of the Fine Arts, right, Regina?
Yes,
That's
one of my
Tanya
favorite
and
museums
Sandy.
here.
Yeah. Where
Mhm.
are you, Gemma?
I was in the Palace of Fine Arts, and I think that was my favorite exhibition that we saw, with just all these balls hanging from the air. Because if you looked at it horizontally or vertically, you could see like a circle. Um, yeah, and then you asked me to go behind so you could get a picture, and I think it looks good.
It does. And where are you guys? Cassiani, do you know what this was about? It's in the Palace of the Fine Arts. Maybe you're just
Yeah, we were at the Palace of Fine Arts. I remember that, like in this floor, we were exploring different art museums around Latin America. And I was with the girls, and Steve came like, "Oh, then take a picture of you guys together." And yeah, I love this picture. Honestly, it's really cute.
it is. Nora, you look happy in this picture. What are you up to? What's happening here?
We're making our midday break at I think we're at coffee shop restaurant to get the fuel in before we hit some more museums.
I want to know what Anya was thinking in that picture because Anya looks so focused.
I was very hungry.
Yep.
She's wondering why didn't get anything?
Well, sometimes it took a little while to get our food because there was so many of us. Rahina, tell us where we are. This is beautiful.
Oh, yes, we're walking down the Alameda Park. It's one of our central and biggest parks in Mexico City, and it's right in front of the Palace of the Fine Arts and the Museum of National Art. And that's the park where we all danced. I really love that place.
It was a beautiful park. And not here today, but Shayna is the one who was with us at age 14. And well, now she's all grown up, married kid, and serving on our board of directors. She's a mental health professional in California. Is this in the National Museum?
Yes, that's us in actually my favorite museum of Mexico City, the Museum of National Art. And as you can see, it's really far from the ceiling. It's really beautiful.
It is.
Yes, that's us in the museum.
Okay. Okay. Nora, you look very determined here, and Sarah and Anya. What is going on with you guys here?
Well, I think it was one of those Steve moments where Steve walked up and we had to strike a pose for his pose.
How about you, Angela? Are you busy taking notes in the museum?
Oh yeah, I think we're just trying to think of ideas for the museum, what to write about, and just creating notes together as well.
And this was a beautiful tile building. Rahina, this was on the side of Sanborn's. Is that right?
That's actually the Sanborns. That's the restaurant we ate, and we had where the beautiful pictures of the balcony are.
Ah.
It used to be a department store.
Oh, Steve is saying apparently it used to be a department store.
It's a department store. It's a department store and a restaurant.
Oh, it still is. Okay. And here is another balcony picture.
Yes. I still cannot believe that you came. Oh my God.
It looks like you're making some plans here with Hutter Rouge.
Yes. Secret plans.
Maya, Diego, Cassiani, and Gemma, what are we looking at? Do you guys remember where we were? We were going through the neighborhood, I think, and stumbled upon this exhibit, which was typically not available, right? Damien, you might remember?
Yeah, and I think this was like open for a short time and we were able to go inside. And I think this was related to Frida Kahlo, if
My memory is that it was her former students, and it was
yeah.
it was their art.
No, it's kind of like a student's art school, and the exhibit was about Frida Kahlo. Well, the theme of the exhibit was about Frida Kahlo, and they open every once in a while for a short time to exhibit all the works of the students. I really love that little gallery.
Who wants to talk about this picture? Sarah, do you know where we are?
Yeah, so this was actually, I want to pronounce it correctly, Anawakali. I think it's the place, this is where Diego Rivera built his house, but unfortunately never got to live there. And it was converted into a museum, an art museum of historic and indigenous art. And it was really interesting. They had this beautiful, like, we're standing on the balcony of the top floor right now, really pretty, and it was really just one of the most beautiful views we got to see. Um, I think a lot of the a lot of my memories of these kinds of pictures are being at like the top of a tower, or like the um we went, I'm forgetting what, I think it was the Museum of the Mexican Revolution.
Yep.
It was like the super tall tower. Um, so like we had a lot of great views in Mexico City.
This is at Frida Kahlo's house in her garden. Sammy, what's this painting? Do you remember? Maybe Sammy had to leave. This is Rahina, you tell. It's one of Frida Kahlo's famous paintings.
Yes, it's Viva la vida. It's live life. Well, oh, it's one of her most famous paintings, and I'm so happy that you got to see it in person, because
Oh,
when I didn't see it in person myself, I cannot believe I'm seeing it.
it was wonderful. And Anya, what I love this picture of you. What are you doing?
Yeah, so this is in Frida Kahlo's house in the garden. There was this like blackboard set up. So I thought, why not, free advertising space. So I wrote in chalk.
And then you wrote on a sticky note.
Yes, there also had a mirror part as well on the other side of the blackboard. So I thought, again, it's free, it's open.
And this is also Frida Kahlo's house. That's Sammy. And these are some of her dresses. That there were lots more, but this was a nice one of Maya with the dress. And then, of course, we had to have a mirror selfie with the sticky note. Is Arush still here? Sarah, you're not the only one that can mimic a statue. Holly, if you're still here, can you explain what you guys are doing in a laundromat?
Yes. So I was very excited. This was my first time going to the laundromat. A few people went many times, and each time I seemed to miss it. I was in the shower or doing something else. And um, as group leaders, we kind of tried to help out wherever we could. And one of the ways that we were able to do that was to help with the laundry. And we had Sarah, who was our group leader.
In
I don't know,
training.
like
In
we
training.
adopted her, yeah, interning as a group leader. And yeah, we had so much fun. We went to the laundromat, did the laundry, and then we did go to Walmart on the way back. It was definitely a highlight of the trip. It was one of those things where it's like really nice just to do something like mundane and everyday, because it's always fun when you're at a YGI conference and you're with your friends and experiencing different things. And sometimes it's just as fun as all of these amazing opportunities that we had and all these amazing places that we see, just having that time to chat and just do something funny.
But we had to wash the shirts often because we were wearing the shirts almost every day. So you guys did a lot of work schlepping the laundry back and forth. Who wants to tell about what is this showing? Damien, what is this?
So this is a picture with everyone in the van, and I think I really got used to this van going everywhere and taking us places. And I think the conversations we had in the van and also sleeping, I loved it.
And where are you here, Damien?
So this is at the pyramids, and I was in this dark room, and I saw a parrot mural. And since I also kept a parrot at home, I figured I'd take a photo.
Oh, Regina has to go. Thank you, Damien. Wait a minute. I don't want to keep sharing. I'm sharing now. Okay. So we have to say goodbye to Regina. Regina, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Oh my God, I almost cried when I saw you all again. And my mom says thank you too.
Muchas gracias, Lilia.
We had the time of our lives having you here.
Oh, we all had the time of our lives being with you. Thank you so
And
much.
my mom is asking me when are you coming back? So I leave that up to you.
As soon as we can.
As soon as we can. That's a great answer. Thank you, Steve. So thank you. Do you guys want me to keep showing the rest of the pictures? I mean, this is not the rest of all the pictures we have. This is just a few that I picked out.
Thank you so much for everyone for coming here. I love you so much.
Oh, we love you, Reina. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon. See you next week.
Okay. Okay. Is Sammy still here? No. Okay. Sarah, where are we?
So another.
Sorry.
Sorry.
Sammy's still here. Sammy, I know this meant something to you. So can you tell us what was this?
Oh, she can't speak.
Oh, she can't speak. Okay. Go ahead, Sarah. Sorry.
No, it's okay. It was. We went to the. Oh, wait, Sammy's gonna be able to talk in a minute, so maybe
Okay.
we should just wait for her.
All right. Well, we'll just keep going, then we'll go back to this. And that's the same spot. That's really cute with you and Anya. Ah, what is this? Is Maya here?
No.
Okay, Sarah. Why don't you talk about this one? What are you guys doing? Sitting in someone's living room? What is this?
No, so this was actually at the Reforma newspaper. We got to go on top of seeing their printing press, and in learning about that, we also got to go to their like media studio, and this was where they film a lot of their content for TV, social media, and we got to talk to one of the people running that whole program, and it was really interesting. We got to sit in the fancy chairs and feel very official. So yes, it was very cool.
Sorry, that's Maya with one of the copies of the Reforma, and Sammy and Cassiani. Their picture taken in front of the a giant outdoor like sign for the Reforma. Sammy with some cactus leaves. Is Sammy back yet?
Yes.
Okay, where are we here, Sammy?
We it's in one of like the most famous churches. It's this it's famous because of like a folklore. Well, it's not folklore, but like a story that basically says that this one guy went to the top of the mountain and he had roses in his it's un mantel
cloak. His cloak.
In his cloak, yeah. And then he went to a church leader there and he was like, La Virgen de Guadalupe wants a church built in this top mountain. And then he releases his cloak, and instead of all the roses being there, it's a picture of La Virgen de Guadalupe. And so because of that, the church is built in the top of that mountain. And so it was very nice to see it.
And a beautiful view.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this was from the top of the Museum of the Revolution. Okay, Damien, what are you doing here? Yoga, Pilates, what is happening?
So we were at the chocolate museum, and I think we were grinding cacao beans.
You got that right. Oh my gosh, what is this? Is Angela still here?
Oh yeah, I am. This is after we done the piñata. I don't know if this is the first or the second one, but we're all holding the sweets that we got from the piñata, and it was very fun.
This is Sammy with her chiles en nogada. You will not want to miss that story when it's published. One of the many sunflowers bestowed upon Regina. It was very cute. Everyone started buying little items with sunflowers on and sneaking them into her pockets and backpack, and not admitting who it came from. She just everyone wanted to show Regina how much we appreciated her. Angela, where do you remember? Oh, this is the castle, Chapultepec.
Yeah, this is the castle. I'm not sure which painting, but I know me and Maya just wanted a photo in front of it as well.
I think that is also on the castle grounds. Restaurant. I think we're on our last day now when we were at Xochimilco.
Fed us on the boat.
Yeah, we ate on the boat. Before we went to the Xochimilco, we saw this university, National Autonomous University, and the incredible Aztec mosaics that they had there. This was a mariachi band on one of the boats. For a little while, it came onto our boat. We cannot ever forget the iconic Titanic pose. And this was the van that took us most of the places we went. And this gentleman was our wonderful driver, and everyone really felt good about him being behind the wheel, and we certainly did. And everyone brought a flag from their country, and or in the case of Gemma and Holly, from their parts of the UK. And it was really fun to see that. And now they're all on display in our YJI office in Maine. Yep, above my head. Holly, do you want to talk about what you guys are doing here with these little books? If Holly's still here. Angela, you can talk about what you're doing with the little book.
Oh yeah, we have these tiny books that we did it in Prague as well. And we have the ones for Mexico. We were just writing notes to each other, all the things that we wanted to say of appreciation to each other. And so that was really nice.
Little journal / autograph books, right?
Yeah.
And this is Damien and Sammy getting ready to leave. They're in the airport. And there goes Maya back to Ghana. And that is all of the pictures I have today.
You can be glad that you didn't pick the other 16,900 of them.
So there were 17,000 pictures, and Steve labeled all of them. And that's how we were able to curate a small number of them, which might have felt like a lot. I don't know. But hopefully you enjoyed watching, and hopefully all of you kids enjoyed coming back together and remembering. And we've still got a lot of work to do to get our stories and commentaries up from our time there. But I just I hope that you've had a good experience here. Damien, it's late at night for Damien. It's 1:30 in the morning. And so good job, Damien, for coming to our meeting so late. Thank you. I saw your dad watching for a while. That was nice. He probably had to go to bed. But this is all being recorded, and we will eventually put it on our YouTube channel, and we'll put it up on our website. So if you had someone that you care about who wanted to see this, but they didn't get to see it, tell them that they will have a chance to watch the recording. And some of the videos might actually even be better because I'm not sure that Zoom was showing them in their full quality. So does anyone have any more questions before we say thank you? Thank you so much for coming, and look forward to seeing you again soon. Any questions from you, Sam?
I don't have any questions, just usual thank you for letting me be part of this, Jackie, and Steve, and everybody else. I love this. I love this every year.
Oh,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Sam. Thank you. And that you guys that are there, Jocelyn and Juan, you must be Sammy's mom and dad. She's great. She's great. Thank you for raising such a wonderful daughter.
Alto dando las gracias por tener una hija tan magnífica.
Hola, Jackie.
Hola.
Soy Lulu. Soy Lulu. Te quiero mandar unas palabras.
La tía, ¿sí?
Sí.
Sí.
Sí. Pues sobre todo agradecerles por todas las postales que nos mandaron. Nos dieron palabras muy lindas y me dio mucho gusto haber, ay, quién sabe qué pasó, haber estado con ustedes.
Oh, muchas gracias. Muchas gracias. Your family is wonderful. This is Regina's auntie, Auntie Lulu, and she was there many days. Muchas gracias, everybody.
Besos.
Muchos besos. So thank you all. Sam is holding up his postcards. And Charlie, I hope that you have been suitably inspired to want to attend a future conference.
Yeah, when I'm older, because my parents wouldn't want me going
Yeah.
somewhere else.
Well, you just turned 13, so
yeah,
got some time. Well, thank you all for being here. This was really great. I loved it. I love seeing everyone, and I hope I didn't bollocks up the tech too bad. I was kind of getting into a rhythm by the end, but the beginning was bad. Maybe next year. All right, thanks everybody. If anybody wants to talk to me about their stories, I'm going to shut off the recording.